Yes. Honestly, you boys tickle me to no end. I've just found out that Just Joe's off live in half an hour, so that'll blow me out of water. But, you know, it is what it is, isn't it? Nobody do it. I've got to say, boys, I'm actually, you know, I'm relatively on time. Obviously, I'm a couple of minutes late. But you all crack me up, to be fair. It's actually funny. The driving, but also clock watching really got me. Half a job putting out a pre-record today. Well, we've come into some bad news today for Underlap. It's not bad news, it's just my van's fucked. So it's legitimately fucked. Like it's in bad shape, thank God. So half a job Jack's on his way in. Hit the like button, yes, Render UFC. I've got to give a shout out to Mark Bradley for the crazy super chat on the on my quick shit vid yesterday. It's proper appreciated, man. There'll be 2 shit vids tomorrow, I promise you. Yes, Oliver, what's good? Arse Ripper, for all the boyos. But yeah, you do genuinely make me laugh. It stuns me. What are they? Well, that's not why we're here. We'll talk in a second. You know why we're here? Get that badger in and on and over here. We had to move back to get his greatness in. We are a bit late on the overlap because Thursdays have now become like a nip down to the pub and have a few beers day, which they used to be in my youth, right, guys? So back in the day, like I'd go down to Boozer and have a few, you know, down to Battle Cruise and have a few beers, and it worked out quite well. And then I thought, and then the formation collapse, you know, as you get older, old boys start dropping out a little bit dirty, and it's a bit like blah, like, you know, I'm just in fucking boozing for no reason. Then you end up in there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday as well. It's like, well, fucking try to find your mates. I joke, I kid. I've never been on search for mates. I've got too many of them. That's not true either. It's a joke. I've got about 3. But yeah, so we stopped the Thursdays on the basis that I'll just rather do this. Thought it's like being at pub, innit? Do you know what I mean? Getting like 58 people up in this bitch. Yeah, skids up. But then we don't get the likes in. It's like, where's the likes at? Do you know what I mean? Because Leeds are collapsing it like there's no tomorrow, isn't there? Because we're aware that the clock watches in, as we do need to know. Sir Badger. But yeah, so, you know, we started, and then I've actually had Thursdays off for 2 weeks. So I've been going down to Battle Cruise at Boozer for a couple of beers beforehand, which is probably a recipe for disaster, but I think everybody knows by now. If you don't know by now, you never knew. I think everybody knows by now what day it is, don't they? So Justin Thomas says, Jack, quick one. Have you ever thought about doing DJ live on here where you work from? I haven't, to be fair, dude. I mean, there's no reason why we couldn't sort that out. I mean, it might get copyright struck, but I think that'd be relatively funny, wouldn't it? Not the copyright strike, but yes, Jules D, what's good? Top Banana, it's got to be a good name, that. Oliver, my guy. Solenum Limininiera. I'm only messing, I know your name. I know your name, but I can't say it. But we switch it up every single time, don't we? Watched Tottenham today, can't stop laughing. Arsenal also got beat, didn't they? It was looking a bit better than, say, played Villarreal, didn't it, the other day? It was looking a bit better than it seemed, because it looked like they were getting battered at one point, end up 3-2. But we can't have I don't think it matters for Arsenal, does it? It's a madness, in it, in pre-season. It's like everybody goes into oblivion. They got beat 3-2 to Villarreal, but, you know, I didn't watch the game. I don't know. Arsenal will be decent this year. But they're not in a relegation battle. We drew to Villarreal, so are we as good as Arsenal? This is what I'm saying about Hilal. Fucking Hilal, my mate, telling me that they can stay up in the Premier League. Like, you've just no idea until your ball's deep in it, is it? We used to have this conversation about Rangers and Celtic, like, oh, they might be able to stay up in the Premier League, whatever. Like, you just don't know. It's the relentless nature of the competitiveness of the league. It's hardcore in the Premier League. That's why we want, sorry, Badger, that's why we want competitive footballers in the door, don't we? Obviously, we will talk briefly, if we ever get round to it, if we're not too pissed for it, we'll talk briefly about the transfers that are potentially sort of fluttering around. Bilal El Kunis. I feel like we're messing around with a little bit, but I felt like this about the other players, to be fair. And obviously, we've had the revelations today about Ben Doak. Right, I don't want to talk. Just a quick shout out to Ming there for handing them memberships out like he's Santa Claus. Cheers, Ming. Ming gets his shout out because if he don't get his shout out, he really does. He gives it to me long term, and it's not. And not sexually, which I'd take. That'd be nice. I'll try it, Justin. We'll see what happens. Did I really? Because I panicked and I had to look at the title there to make sure I'd not fucked it up. But because I sometimes worry that I have called it the overlap. Tickle those likes, says Top Banana. I want to talk about my guy, right? Ben Doak. What's young fella? Is he 19? Let's have a look here. Yeah, he's 19. Do you ever think, right? So obviously there's a 20 million render on the new membership. I thought you'd have already been a member by now, though, man. You've been handing them out like he's Santa Claus. Do you ever think genuinely with young lads? I actually want to. I don't know what I want to get off my chest here, but why are some? I don't want to talk about Joseph. I can't be asked. But why are some players held in ridiculously high regard, and then like a player that everybody seems to think is a really good prospect, as soon as sort of 20 million's mentioned, it's off the cards. Like it's not what we need right now. If we are a club sort of investing money, spending money, would it not be a bad idea to get a player in for 20 million that could potentially would fluster under us and like really like prosper, really go forward in the career, and this would be the perfect opportunity for him, etc. I don't know. We're always like we're either after the finished article or we try to give Joseph 90 minutes every time we play football. It's like it's a weird thing for me, man. I sort of get the it's not for the right ear right now, but I just think it's a little bit harsh on a young lad that has actually shown potential, been decent. If he's worth 20 million, he's probably worth 20 million. I don't, do you know what I mean? I don't know. Been in Championship. I don't know. I don't want to be signing players from Championship. I'm aware that, obviously he's not deemed as a Championship player. Let's have a look here. Share the screen. We don't really normally do this on so early doors on Underlap, do we? But share the screen here on my man, Ben Doak. How much Leeds need to pay signing with a bit of a Leeds are keen on signing a new winger and have set their sights on Liverpool star at Ben Doak. It's also interesting how this is all worded all the time, because whenever you're talking about Jack Harrison, it's like his house is about to get blown up. Leeds are now Saturday, who looks likely to leave Liverpool after an outstanding campaign on loan. Several Premier League sides are interested in the 19-year-old and have now learned the asking price to bring to Elland Road. Leeds would need to pay 20 million. Why wouldn't we need to pay 20 million? Seriously, why wouldn't we need to pay 20 million when we're asking 15 million for Joseph, who's achieved nothing, shown nothing, or very little? I don't want to get Radji. Just had a beer on us there. With this in mind, they've made contact with Liverpool for a move, and this could progress quickly. As reported by Beren Cross, Leeds have held discussions over a move for the teenager who excelled in the Championship, Middlesbrough. It's reported that Liverpool want 20 million for the attacker. Why would they not want 20 million for the attacker? So, for instance, like McAtee, we've all been banging on about. I think it's unattainable, is McAtee, in the grand scheme of things, obviously. I don't think it's the same player that we're after there. But it's only because he's coming from Man City, and Man City have they've got more of a scope to play the player a few more times. They give them 8 games, don't they? 8 appearances. They do well. They score a couple of goals in the elite side of Man City. I don't think Liverpool have that ability, truth be told. And I know they won the league last year, but I think it'd be naive in thinking it'd be any different or different for other clubs. I think Liverpool are in positions where they can just sort of like put someone into a system that works like that. I don't think they ever have been under Klopp. I don't think it's that style of football. Yeah. Willie Nonto and Dan James set to start the season. Doak will be a strong rotation option if he was to join in the summer, and he could eventually. My point being, what's the point? Why does it have to be like a £20 million player has to be the finished article? I know we're in a certain position where, but if they are looking to spend 50, 60 million, and players like Paxo stuffing is done, but we're looking at spending 35 million, why not a 20 million player as an alleged backup? Why is Bilal de Kounis coming in, El Kounis coming in and being better than Dan James, Nonto and Ramazani? Why is that certain? Why are we happy to spend that money on them players? Is that because it's certain that he comes in and he's far better than them players? I thought all last year, everybody was banging on about, oh, we have to play Ramazani every single minute of every single game. I thought that was is that gone now and it's now Bilal? Why can't it be, if, I suppose he's Scottish, which shouldn't help. I think we can all bang on as much as you want, but I do think that matters. Is Ben Doak not the guy now? Does he have to be? Does he have to have a big long name like Bilal El Kounis? Does that make it far better? Does it have to be something I can't pronounce? Even though I'm not certain that I can spell that I can pronounce Ben Doak. I don't think I can go that far, but I don't know. I think we're just overly. To be honest, I think I'm getting a little bit tired with the transfer window in general. Getting a little bit like, I won't say pissed off, because I'm not getting pissed off with it, but it's tiresome, isn't it? This constantly banging on about certain players and how certain players transform the club. They'll try. This is the player, and we had Paxo stuff in who I've no doubt was exceptional, and it's like that fell through. So nothing comes close to that. Again, ignoring any squad player we have now, it's like they cannot be anywhere near good enough for the Premier League because Wolves have got a relatively decent squad. It just bores me a bit. We have to be competitive from this moment on, whether we bring someone in or not. If Bilal El Kounis isn't the man to, ultimately you can say whatever you want. Leicester was shit last year. He got relegated with them. So, and yet people are excited about that. But then when you talk about someone that's done well when they've gone on loan, is a Liverpool prospect. Everybody wanted James McAtee, who's played well in Man City's team. But this 19-year-old, who you might not be reliant on, but we have decent wingers, can't do the job for 20. I'm not saying he's worth 20 million. I don't know what he's worth. Nobody knows. But you can't sort of have it both ways where you go, well, he's 20 million worth in 2 years, or he's might be 50 million worth. What did we get Raphinha for? Not saying he's Raphinha. He's not. Nobody is. I don't know where the scope of what is worth at this moment, when people are saying that Joseph, loan him out, his value will increase to what? To 15 million? To 20 million? But what will he gain? What will Joseph's worth go up by going out on loan to some shits next year? Because it won't increase. There'll be about a £2 million increase unless he scores 20 odd goals in the league, in Spanish league next year. And if he does, fair enough. Maybe we've got it wrong. If he doesn't, the only club that will want to buy him is the club that have had him, and they know what they've got, and they might take him on board. But anybody that he goes back to, Joseph is not going to go to Spain on loan, come back as a £20 million footballer if he's not right now. I'm not saying my man Ben Doak is. I'm not comparing the two. But if that's the wager, if that's what they set on him, you have to give respect to some extent for the wage that's been put on him. Just like I've watched plenty of Joseph, and he, in 5 years he might be a 10, 15, 20 million pound player. That's the risk you take on, isn't it? When you sign players, Archie Gray, what did Archie Gray go for? Somebody remind me. Archie Gray, can't remember. It was a lot. I've learned how to use Google again when I'm on things. I've had a few beers. £30 million. Do you think Archie Gray is a £30 million signing? If we were trying to sign Archie Gray now for 30 million, take all the Leeds United nonsense out of it, and his second name, I think he's a really good player, Archie Gray. Do you think he's £30 million signing? And this lad's not a £20 million signing. I don't get where it comes from on a fan basis. Actually, I legitimately don't understand it on a fan basis. You can bang on as much as you want. I need to catch up on comments here because that's not where I've just gone on a bit of a rant, so apologies, guys. We'll start at the end and we'll go back. Sean Rooney. It's got to stop, big lad. Can't stop, won't stop, but my God, big lad. Sean Rooney, we need to meet for a few pints, man. You're going to be... I feel like it's an OnlyFans account or something, and I'm offering you more than... I'm offering you more. You know, top man. Honestly, you're an absolute ledge. Yes, Jaggy Babs, thank you for the membership, man. I appreciate you. 17 million for Raphinha, says Render. We didn't even pay 20 million for Anton Stack. We had on a 2-year deal. We paid, what did we pay for Aronson in Premier League? You're not only one, Jack, so fans are going mental. Tiresome it certainly is, says MVG. Randy says Liverpool will want a massive buyback clause, no deal, but big good squad player, says John Pepper. I just thought not everybody's going to come into the club and be the most wild footballer we've ever seen forever. You're going to have to at some point spend some money, aren't you? And it's not confirmed anyway. I don't. My point being, I don't get any of it. If I'm honest, maybe it's me. I just don't know why we're always pissing and moaning. Like the club have to spend money, but then when they don't want to spend money, everybody moans. Everybody says, "Oh, they're just unwilling to spend money." Then when they spend money, you piss and whinge about potentially spending 20 million on this 19-year-old kid. If they want to spend 20 million on this 19-year-old kid, they believe in him, don't they? They think they can get something out of him. Everybody's now saying they're pissing about Bilal Al-Kunas. So, like, if they're pissing about him, then maybe they don't believe in that transfer for 25 million. They maybe think this 20 million-year-old, 19-year-old kid, maybe he's the better option for us. Who knew about Kunas year before Leicester signed him? It gets boring to me. This is the side of it I get boring about. And then everybody comes out with their opinion about players, which is fine. But certain players prosper in certain places. It fucks me off. I just think, like we spent back in there, prior to Ridsdale absolutely annihilating us, before it all went fucking Pete Tong. Millions and millions on Rio Ferdinand. Ended up being one of the best centre-backs. Nobody else were willing to pay that for him, were they? You have to take some gamble in order to get anything back for it, don't you? We spent 18 million on Rio Ferdinand, whatever. We sold him for 38. Ended up being one of the best centre-backs England's ever seen. He went through Leeds United. We spent, well, not a lot on Raphinha, to be fair, in the grand scheme of things. Ends up going on, being a Ballon d'Or contender. We spent nothing on Tanaka. He looks amazing. We'll see what he's like in Premier League. He might end up being a 40, 50 million pound footballer. We just don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what my point is. That's my point, though. I think everything's overthought and gone, I don't fancy it, so I'm not having it. It's like when I was talking about Mitrovic yesterday on my videos. I don't fancy Mitrovic this year. I take him if we're not going to bring anybody in. But I just think we're filling like a random void, a random hole where it's like, get Mitrovic in because he's, I don't know why everybody's on board with Mitrovic coming in. And I take it. I'm on board with everybody. We're on board with him. Or it's like, why is there no criticism of this whatsoever? It's like Mitrovic, who's been on holiday in Saudi Arabia for a couple of years. Sorry, Badger. And I know everybody's saying, "Oh, well, it's a decent standard. He'll get goals." Like, It's not always been proven in Premier League. Anyway, I take Mitrovic. I actually like him. He's a dickhead to play against. He's exactly the type of person you want to play with. He's an absolute legend when you're playing with him, and not better when you're playing against him, which tend to be, or certainly tend to be my favourite players. All accountants out with the solemnum linenum. I agree. Man in a shed, there will not be a lot said, big lad, from the start to the end. So 2 billion, says Jaggy Bobs. Got Road on for 10 million. Gray. I mean, it says 30 million there with Gray, but I think there'll be some add-ons, won't there? For 45 million, but we can definitely get a poll going on that third away kit, can't we? For certain, dude. The third kit. Yes, no, unsure, we'll go with. Also, if I'm brutally honest, guys, I don't want to get too controversial here, but there's, I think there's a bit of a weird, there's a weird thing that occurs online where you end up taking fashion advice from like people that only buy Leeds United clobber. So it ends up being like, that cannot be the kit because I won't wear it to pub. It's like, that's fair enough, but it is a football kit. It is a football top. At some point, you have to draw the line a little bit. That's what I always say about the home kit. It's like, it's a white kit. It's a white home shirt. How controversial can that be? And I don't particularly like the collar on the thing and the arms or whatever. I've got used to it. I'm fine with it. And there's been kits over the years that I thought are absolutely the best thing ever. The nuts. But there has to be a bit of a line where you cut it off and go, well, who are we taking fashion advice off here? Because some of my mates that will not wear anything that isn't from the Leeds United store, as much as I love them and I think it's tremendous that they're supporting the club, I don't know if I'm going to take fashion advice off them like in the long term. So it's a weird thing to basically for grown men to be going online and moaning on Twitter about the third kit when they like the first, they like the away kit, and then the third kit they can't handle. And I actually think it's a nice kit, the third kit. I said about the fuzzy one, I said it to Joe, and I'm not, I think I just commented it, and I'm not sure it was not from Joe, but I'm not sure it was taken how I meant it. The like training kits, the type of thing that I would wear if I was playing football. I don't think that's a bad football kit. If you've gone down to training, your preseason training, you've got that on. I think it's a nice bit of clobber. Just in the same way that, you know, if I were going to a wedding, I wouldn't wear it to a wedding. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't wear it on a night out, but I'd wear it if I were playing football like that. That's a nice, I think it's a bit out there. Like, it's not too much. I like stuff I like black and white stuff, believe it or not. Black and white. Blue will take. But I like plain stuff, and that's a bit funky, a bit plain, like a bit weird, bit like, you know, stand out without being like overly over the top. I don't know. What's my point here? I don't know. We've been to the pub, haven't we, boys? I'm well behind up comments. I'm losing track of what the underlap's all about here. Andy Rose says, we bought Raphinha with 3 days left of the window. The 49ers work in silence. They all know the players. You're going to know future growth. The 49ers work in silence. They know all the players' values. Well, Raphinha were in the Victor Orta and Radrizzani days, wasn't he? But Beckford went out on loan as an ex-windscreen fitter. Came back to, well, went to Everton. Don't get rid of Bamford, mate. Champions of the finance. See, in the poll here, we've got 41% saying yes, 35% saying no, 24% saying unsure. So I think we're on for one. I think most people know what day it is. Jason Darling says, honestly think we go down now with this team. I don't mind it, Jason. It's fine. I just don't know why before a game a ball has been kicked in anger that we're thinking like that, man. Honestly, I get called naive all the time or fucking sentimental FC or whatever, and I'll take it. I don't give a shit. I just actually believe in these players a little bit. I think Longstaff, Stack, be all brilliant additions. I think we can compete, and I don't think we're done yet. We've got till next Monday, haven't we, to get another player in, and we're also banging on as though like if they're not there for Everton, we're fucked. Which in reality, you know, Everton's a big game. Probably get beat to Arsenal regardless. If you bring Raphinha back, we probably get beat to Arsenal. What's his history like in past 6-7 years? You know, when we were in Premier League for 2 years, whatever it was. What were his history like against Arsenal? Probably not gonna. I don't know. Why think that is my point. And to be fair to Jason Darling, further down in the comments, he'll probably just say that he's been realistic and all this stuff. It's a massive step up because how's be all gonna stand up to Haaland? It's like, why does be all have to stand up to Haaland? Haaland rapes most centre backs, so why would it be any different for be all? Van Dijk's the best centre back in the world. What's Peru gonna do to him? Like, well, do you remember Van Dijk against Bamford when we scored? So you only need one moment to forward him, and Bamford's the worst striker that's ever lived. But yet, Van Dijk didn't matter what Van Dijk actually messed up for that goal, but that doesn't matter because Van Dijk's the best centre back in the world. Even though I think the centre back role has dramatically changed, and I think Van Dijk is profoundly overrated. I truly do. I think he's a brilliant centre back. But to talk about him as the best centre back that the Premier League's ever had, I think he's absolutely wild. And most people will probably think that's the shit take of the week or the, you know, nonsense. But I could name so many centre backs before I got to Van Dijk. I think he's decent. I think he's better than decent. I think he's excellent. But you know, I mean, I've seen even in recent history like Company and that. Company getting rated lower than Van Dijk as though Van Dijk's better on ball than Company. Like, we'll show you clips of Company pinging ball about goals, top bin goals. How many top bin goals have you seen of Van Dijk? None. Or unless somebody can show me one. His touch was mean. It was all of it. John Terry as a centre back, being biggest dickhead in the world, fair enough. Rio Ferdinand, dickhead. Brilliant. Vidic, brilliant. Carvalho, that's just random, popped in my head. I'm not saying he's better than Van Dijk in fairness, but I just think there's, you know, I don't know. I was just going through Chelsea defenders at that point when they were good. But Van Dijk can be exposed. I mean, there's some horrific, you know, you got to think of Jones, haven't you? You know, Jones was some player, wasn't he? Wes Brown. Not yet, Mr. Whitesnake, and I'm still yet to see you, sir. So JLUFC, unfortunately, I'm far behind, so I'm not sure what that's about, but 30 million, says Render for LUFC, including add-ons. Eze to Spurs to replace Madison, Kunis to Palace. I hope not, but that's what is written all over. Yeah, apparently this is the issue in it with El Kunis. Everybody's saying that if Eze moves on or whatever, they'll be straight into replacement because Palace has been like it's been for a couple of weeks, and ultimately would. I mean, it's been floating around Twitter that it's not on his wish list necessarily. It doesn't have to be a European playing football side, but whether or not it has to be, I think it's relatively irrelevant. I think it ends up being just best move for player in it, and he would want to go to Crystal Palace over us if that was on the cards. That's why you want to get snapped up. But I also don't want to, you know, is it on the club? Are they actually not snapping it up, or Could it be that the club are actually playing it quite wise and they think there's other options? Nobody likes to hear that. There might be a chance that you're actually looking at other things and thinking, well, I'm not going to go in on that on the basis that we might have other players available. We're also playing the game. But it can't be like that. It's just always whoever's in the press. The player that's in the press is the team that we're after, and we can't get hold of them. It can't be. There's a few players we're looking at. He's on the radar. We're looking for better. It can't be like that. The club can't be intelligent. It all has to be the player and the agent playing the club. It can never be the fact that the club have maybe got a few ideas, a few tricks up the sleeve. Can never be that. And then when it don't come off, when the job don't come off, the fans come down on the club, and you go, well, fair enough. That's the hit you take, innit? If you've tried to go when they go, well, we tried, no, I'm not on about that. But if we're in for El Kunis and then they actually think that is one of three, and then the other two don't happen, like you pack our stuff in. If they'd have all happened at the same time towards end up window, there'd have been meltdown, wouldn't there? We've still got time to get a player in. A couple of players. Mr. White Sixness, just want to bring players in who come in and do the fucking job. I agree. All fans, Rich Walker, what's good, man? All fans must be accountants and scouts now instead of fans. It's crazy. It's like a competition for who's the best Leeds fan. And it's like, who can wind the Leeds fan base up more, me or you? Like, well, ugh. Fucking boring, man. I come from honestly, if you've been here from the channel for a while, I feel like I repeat myself a little bit. I feel like I've got a. Well, I don't feel like I have a decent understanding of the game, because at this level, at the Premier League level, I don't have a fucking clue. But you can talk if you want, like you've got a clue. You can talk with real authority, and you can push your knob around, press it up against as many. You can go to a club, can't you, on a night out and push your knob up against as many girls as you can find. And then when you leave with no bird and all your mates have not been pushing the knob up against a load of chicks, and then you come out and you're outside and nobody's with a chick, but you're like, all your mates go, bloody hell, mate. Oh, fucking hell. You were like, no more successful. I was no better than you were. I was just a bit more of a knobhead about it. It's like, and I literally feel like that's what Twitter's like. It's a load of blokes pretending that they're pushing the knob up against a chick to actually go and try and pull them. And that's on like some in-betweenish shit, which I don't watch. I don't think it's funny, but that's just preference. And I'm sure it's funny. It's just not for me. But it's like you can go and be out and be the biggest knobhead in the world, like slapping girls' ass. Oh, I'm so confident, mate. Oh, yeah. I'm a bigger fan than you. I get the pussy. Don't I? Like, when was the last time you got some flange, man? Don't happen. Boring. You can be, throwing your weight around on Twitter like you're gonna get some like you have some football knowledge. I can't be like that. I know what I was like as a footballer. I know lads that I've played with, played against. Six-a-side, young lads. 15, 16-year-old lad I played with last night. Six-a-side, proper mint little footballer. He wore like, try to prove himself, like in front of like I'm 34, like a load of older blokes. They were mint, getting about it and that. Like a couple of older boys being nasty to him. I'd put a stop to it. Just be like, oh mate, don't worry about him. He just don't like the fact that you've actually got a bit of energy. Because we're all getting old. It's like I can't be like that. I can't be bitter about shit. I don't want to just go on Twitter and fucking say I had a season ticket with my dad for 10 years, so now I know everything about football. I know everything about Leeds United. I ain't got a clue. It annoys me. So that was the basis of the channel. We went into lockdown, didn't we? And I thought, I've got nothing to do. I'm bored. I just thought, just do some bullshit videos on Leeds. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Again, I don't know my point. I'm just saying it. That's why my point with my man Doak. You don't know what you're getting in. So let's not pretend. If the club value him at £20 million, they're willing to pay it. you have to go with it to some extent. I don't know. Or you don't, or you just pretend you're the most knowledgeable man in the room, and that's fine. Most people do. And I actually think you get more credit and you get more respect, you get more subscribers, more likes, more followers when you pretend that you know what you're on about. Because I think then the majority of fans that they like to think they know as well, if I'm brutally honest. I like to think our conversations tend to be based on a mutual conversation as opposed to pretending. I think you boys know I'm not pretending to be the oracle, and I don't think you're the oracle. Like, there's actually a conversation to be had. So I'll get comments and be like, apart from the ones that just abuse me, and then it's like, what's the point in this? But most of the comments are normally like, if it's disagreed upon, I take these comments on board. There's been some mint comments of it every time on videos. Anyway, I'm losing track. It's the booze. I'm still celebrating my week off, so it's the fact that Liverpool are 4 months off from losing him. I thought I already had a year left, though, big man. Does he not have a year left? I thought he had a year left. If it's 4 months, you know. But again, if it's 4 months and loads of clubs are going to come for him on a free, then he's worth some money, isn't he? But Justin Thomas says, few mates, Liverpool fans, he says a good player coming through. Exactly, man. If you're a decent side in the league, you sign players, don't you, that are prospects, don't you? You get them in early. Archie Gray signed for dummy money, 30, 40 million. Spoke about it at the start of the video. Can't remember what it was. 30 minutes on, I can't remember what it was, but big money. Prospect, innit? That's their gamble. And then this, I've got to say this about Archie. I think I said it last year, to be fair, when we sold him, but there were a big pissy whinge about like whether or not there were like a 10, 15, 20% sell-on clause from Tottenham. It's like, then Daniel Levy's paid the money for the youngster, so that doesn't happen in the contract. He's not going to take, he's not, I mean, it's like, no, I've paid for him, mate. Do you think I'm going to give him 10, 15% when he's come to a bigger club that have, you know, they were shit last year, but the potential to move on to bigger things. And you think I'm going to give you a percentage of his next sell-on clause? Like, no, that's the risk I'm taking, which is kind of what I'm saying about this young fella. Everybody's saying he's got potential, but it's not what we need right now. It's like, what if the potential's part of what we need right now? We're not planning on going down next year. The madness is, and I know it's my own brain and it's fine, but sometimes I think I'm living in cloud cuckoo land. But I honestly think it's just the loud voices everywhere that say that, and it's so easy to say this lad isn't enough, he's not good enough. I don't even give a shit if we sign this lad or not. I couldn't give a flying fuck if we buy him or not. But let's write him off before he gets here, because it probably, percentage-wise, probably won't work out for him, will it? So let's just go with that. Let's stick in on Augustine deal. You know what I mean? Let's just get him back in. But it won't come, Jaggy Babs. McAtee won't come on the basis that he's played 10 times for Man City and scored a goal. Liverpool don't have that luxury. That's literally my point. But no, it can't be. Can't be him. Can't be Doak. He's Scottish. Fuck it. Heyo, what's good, brother? I'm with Jack on the transfer doomsday whingers who won't shut the fuck up until the window closes, and then we can see what kind of a team we have in the Premier League. Exactly, man. You know, I'm not here just to wait it out, absolutely unrelenting. Obviously, at some point you have to, you know, cut the umbilical cord, but it's gone into silence, hasn't it? Just let them crack on with job, boys. We spent 850k for Peter Barnes in early 80s. Good player, but horrendous at Leeds. You can throw money about. I'm good at wasting money, mate. I'm good at wasting money. Remember the links to us started on the Liverpool side. They want to sell the kid before they lose him on a free. Guarantee he won't sign a new deal with them because he knows they'll just loan him. Again, this is the problem, or lack of problem. There's like a weird thing in it, whether you actually back yourself as a youngster and think like I can get in this side eventually. It's so tricky for youngsters. They're either elite or they just never get a chance to this. Where's Archie Gamble when you need him, says MVG. Where's he at, boy? Where is he at? It's a gamble. How many £50 million flops has there been? Loads. Agreed, Mingy. Absolutely. Jason Darling says Leeds now need to take risks now with their budget. Otherwise, this season will be a disaster. Fans will turn on the board and Fark. What are risks? That's what I'm saying, Jason. What is a risk? Just spending dummy money? Would Doak not be a risk? I know we don't like Doak for some unknown reason, but is that not throwing some money about, taking a bit of a risk? We need to trust the 49ers, says Aiden the betting. I agree, though, man. I can't see your name, but I agree. Stripper says, don't worry, it will all be sorted. Bring on the 18th of August. Let's go. Let's go. Let's fucking get stuck in. Let's get behind it. John Pepper just asking Jack, who would you like Leeds to sign up front or on wing? I get asked this stuff all the time. I'm not a football scout. It's kind of the whole thing. Do you know what I mean? You know, packs our stuff in with unbelievably impressive one. It seemed a bit over his heads and stuff. You think if you bring that in, it's job done. Amazing. Again, under any link we've had, Mitrovic slightly underwhelmed with on the basis that I thought we could. I'm just not sure what we're getting at this point. I'd take Mitrovic. It's just links, man. I'm not going to pretend to start plucking players out. I did that pre-season with the type of player that I wanted to go out and sign, and none of them have come up. So there's a certain way I wanted to go. We've gone a slightly different way with it, and I'm really happy with the way we've gone with it. I think Longstaff, Stack, Longstaff I know is a decent signing regardless of what everybody says. Premier League player. Stack looks good. Biol looks good. Goodmanson looks good. I think we're doing well up to now. Lee Mitchell says, too many bedwetters in the online fan base. Wait until September to piss the bed. And I'd argue as well, you know, and the month after, man. What's the month after? August, September. October's when, you know, you start shitting the bed, don't you, in October? I don't need to piss it yet. Love that from Lee Mitchell. Take it. Sold Rio for 10 million more, not 38 million. Pretty sure we sold Rio Ferdinand for 38 million, though. I'll catch bunk comments and I'll check that out because I'm pretty sure we bought him for 18, sold him for 38, but I may very well be wrong. Gareth Hobson, that's a fair shout. This is what I've been saying in previous shit vids. Bilal El Kounas, which is definitely easier to say BEK, playing as long so he can go to Palace. I think there's definitely an element of that, but I won't rule us out of being the boys as well. That's what I'm saying. I'm bang on about the fact that it's the player always playing the club, and the club can play the player as well. Like maybe that's an option going long term. Nobody's moaning about Solomon, for instance, maybe coming back into the club and the potential that we're playing with that and like going, well, let me see what we can get up to in the window. We seem to wait for a while with Longstaff. We wait for a while with Biol. Maybe that's just getting out of that line, but that's Ripper. It certainly has. What I would say, it is funny watching the meltdowns. However, when the games begin, it's not funny. It's fucking horrible because I'll get so much shit in so many of my live videos, which I'm more than willing to take. Shades of MVG there. I don't know where that is, but it gets a lot harder to take, doesn't it, when the games are being played and you're having to defend like getting beat to Arsenal and a draw to Everton. You have to defend that, even though 90% of the teams in the league are, well, I'll tell you what, a draw against Arsenal, 100% of the teams in the league would take home or away. But when Leeds get one or get beat 1-0, it's like, nearly went AMG there, but I just remembered the AMG line, so I'm not going to do it. We've not seen BMG yet. I'm not with it at all. Mitrovic will concede penalties, pick up cards, get sent off, and be an all-round liability. I do like the fact he's a bit of an all-round monster, though, AO, to be fair. He's a big, horrible bastard, isn't he? Remember to like the videos, guys. I've just checked. Somebody normally reminds me, the likes are actually decent. They're actually high, so, but it's just always worth mentioning. If you can slap us a like. So I know Joe might have gone live by now. Has Joe come to rate me for the lives? Bastard. He knows I goes live on a Thursday as well. Like, I told him, but normally go live about 8, but I'm only messing about. He doesn't actually wander around when I go live. So before everybody sends it in. Jason Down says, Lee, I'm not a bedwetter. It's frustrating and fed up with other clubs who are so much more efficient than us. I don't know what that means, man. Swear down, Jason Darling. I like you so much for no reason other than you commenting on my channel, but where's the efficiency? It's mind-blowing. If it's got red on there, it's a no from me. Is that about the kit? Jack the third kit is horrendous. I click wrong button. Reminds me of bus seats. We had a kit, I can't remember, and it literally looked like coastline bus seats, to be fair. War Piglet, yes, what's good, brother? JackCity crew, the main man, Jack dropping shorts, loving it. Double do. Love it, big man. Home shirt will always be white. That's what I mean, Mr. Whitesnake. I know you're watching, listening, or watching or listening. That's the only things you can be doing. I know you're not doing that, but it's a white kit in it. What the men to do with it? Well, Piglet getting the love he deserves. It's terrific, says Carl Pearson. The third kit would only work on a pole dance with big bazookas. It's so tacky. 78 RPM. Are you telling me there isn't a time and a place for that? Too many breakdowns, says Top Banana. Just wish the window shut next week. There is a call for apologies, guys. I can't remember who said it. Somebody commented on my shit vid yesterday, just saying I just can't wait for this window to be open, whether it's done now or not. Do you know what I mean? Whether we bring anybody else in, and there is a call for it. Just like fucking stop this madness, because it does get draining. There's no doubt about it. Beyond tacky, says Carl Pearson. I don't mind it, man. It's a fucking football shirt. What are you supping, says Carl Pearson. I'm right into it a minute, man. Estrella Galacia. Now, I don't know whether they're just having me on, truth be told. Because I think the reality is it's just Estrella, isn't it? But we say Estrella because everybody likes it when I don't pronounce stuff right. Well, no, actually, they don't like it. That's why I pronounce. Well, no, I just say it however I feel like I say it. Sometimes I'll say Estrella, sometimes Estrella. But what I can't get made around is the second word. Galacia. Would you say Galacia? Because it's not Galacia, is it? The thing is, I know whenever I say something, it's probably wrong. That's why I end up flipping through about 4 different versions of it. I want to do another quick shout out to Mark Bradley while I'm here, just because he gave me a dummy fucking super chat of the day on one of my shit vids, which you never get them on shit vids. And I don't want them anyway, boys. You know, you're all immense, but they give me a dummy super chat. Man in the Shed says, third kit gives me a headache with or without my glasses. Good lad, Justin Thomas. I don't expect out less, mate. Don't expect out less. Do you think there's an argument for shortening it up, genuinely, and getting it done, or do you think it also feeds into the top 6 hype where they only really get the players in? Because I think the work's getting done. This idea that I think for some reason people panic on the first day of the window as though like the work's just starting to get done. I think players normally know where they're going. I think this work. This isn't against you, Mr. Whitesnake, by the way. Never say it against you. They're obviously working relentlessly on players that they can potentially bring in. So it's the window opens and it's not like the signings don't just come in. That they're all at it all the time, aren't they? So I think there is an argument though to condense it. I think players, agents, managers, clubs, chairmen, they'd have to make decisions quicker. Do you agree? Lee Mitchell says, Jason, every club misses out on players and we're no different. I lose my window when the window shuts. I lose my window. I lose my shit when the window shuts. Every club does miss out on players, though, but we're hypersensitive towards the players that we're after, which is absolutely fine. I am as well. I just try not to pretend that I give a shit about these players that we're being linked with. Because as soon as we're linked with these players, everybody starts to lose a shit about these players. Like, that's how we're staying in the league. This player is how we're staying in the Premier League. Like, no, man. You just think we can sign them. And then when they're shit, when they turn up and they're crap, when they're whack, nobody says a word, do they? Just go like, yeah, well, fucking Joseph deserves a turn up top. It's like, when we signed that striker that you were saying, like, this is the only way we stay at the Championship. This is the only way we stay in the Premier League. And then it's not happened. It's not happened, so tough luck, fuck it. I'm used to kicking buckets. Centurions! Isn't the thunderclap about anything? And everything. Yes, indeed, AO. It certainly is. It's the underlap, isn't it? But I've read that like thunderclap because maybe we'd have to do a version on a Wednesday night called the thunderclap because I thought that was my misreading, but I think I've got that bang on her. Shout out to AO for that. Let's get the thunderclap going, brother. Let's wait and see the reaction if this is the same team come September. No Bogle till Xmas. Well, we've seen this Bogle till Xmas thing. I mean, I think there's a lot of bullshit about that, to be honest. Most teams won't want to play us at Ellen Road. I think we're going to be safe. I agree, Arse Ripper. Truly do. Jesus Christ, anyone would think all these Premier sides should be playing Champions League, for fuck's sake. There is like a mental breakdown with people in general. This is what I'm saying about the step up. So all these teams are pushing for Champions League places. Like, they're all capable. Like, they're all good teams. Of course they are. I don't think the jump's as big as everybody makes out. It's a different version of football. And I think once you obviously cement yourself within the Premier League, but I don't think you've got to spend a few years there. And if you continue to be able to spend money, I think you'll be all right. Agreed, man in a shed. But yet again, I don't play into that. I don't, as much as that's, funny for everybody that had a meltdown after our Villarreal performance. I think we put them under a bit of pressure, but we're not better than Arsenal, are we? So it's like it's a paradox again, because the same people that said, oh, well, Arsenal got beat to Villarreal, so we're better than Villarreal and Arsenal. We're not better than either of them. I know you know that, but, my point being, it's bollocks, isn't it? It's just, we won't know until we're 15 games into the season, will we? History question mark says Mr. Whitesnake. That was then, this is now. Times change, we are Leeds. Agreed, brother. Ming says, we are looking good. Of course, we need players, but everybody losing their shit is crazy. Agreed, brother. JLUFC says, we didn't play them, but I don't know what I'm on about there. I can't remember what I said. Jason dropping the Voldemort viewpoint. Is that from Voldemort, is it? Nobody knows who he is. Legendary MVG says, Paul, who is the best centre-back the Premier League has ever had? I can't poll that, though, apart from Radaby there, MVG. That. I can't poll that, because I'd definitely not pick a player. I mean, I think I'm with Justin Thomas, Woody all day, but so he's there, boy. It's not why you're there, Woody, by the way. I like Toy Story when I was a kid. I struggle not to say Terry, to be honest. I can't do a poll on the basis that there's not enough options, and I think there's been some outrageous ones, but I definitely don't think it's Van Dijk. I think that's bollocks. I think we've actually come out of the era of mint centre-backs, truly. I don't think there's any elite. I don't think they could lace John Terry, Sol Campbell. I've run at centre-backs, so I'm pissed up. Back in the day, let's not have it, like Tony Adams there has been mentioned. I'm a bit too young for Tony Adams, but I don't think... I think it was a different job, much like keepers. Now, we talk about Alisson and Ederson and stuff. I think Ederson's a better keeper in general than Alisson. I do. Alisson's possibly better on the ball, so they tell me. Like, in close quarters, like that matters. Like, he's got a better touch and stuff. Ederson's got a far better long ball on him, far better distribution. That's what actually matters as a goalkeeper in terms of distribution. Playing a 10-yard pass, you can have your biggest critics of Mez in the world, but Mez is better on ball than Darlow, isn't he? Darlow's a better keeper. How far does being a good keeper get you at top level? Top level goalkeepers remain focused at all times, able to make saves in the last minute when they've not had a touch of the ball, and then the distribution's good. That's what top level keepers do now. And I think Ederson's the best to have ever done that in my lifetime. I don't know why people think Alisson's better on ball than Ederson. He's not. He might be a better shot stopper than Ederson, but he doesn't. It's not required of him. It's such a weird position now. There's so many keepers that have been like pony at top clubs. Tim Howard, for instance, was absolutely pony at Man United, done horrendous mistakes. Went to Everton, he was brilliant. They need to be busy, don't they? There's a difference between being a busy goalkeeper constantly, and when I say constantly, 5 shots a game or corners getting whipped in, just involved in the game, and then being silent otherwise. I remember when I was a kid, funny enough, when Leeds were decent, when we were decent, we were in Champions League and stuff, and we were winning most games. I remember Nigel Martin running side to side, to keep warm. It's not. He doesn't need to be doing the running, does he? It's not about getting his yards in. It's staying warm. When we go for a corner, it was stay warm. The ball, I might be asked something upon me, and Nigel Martin were a Donny, wasn't he? But is anybody better in now at shot stopping than Nigel Martin? Genuinely, how good can a keeper get at shot stopping? Szczesny, whatever he's called, however you say his name, brilliant shot stopper. Shit, wasn't he? Horrendous errors. When they're asked some of them, they can go on. That's what I'm saying about Mez. Nobody likes to hear it, but Mez can go on. He can get something done. Hey. We will stay up. Gareth Hobson, I love it, mate. 3 weeks left to bring players in. Don't panic. Captain main wearing. Love it, big man. You do go on a tangent, says Mark Jones. That's what the underlap's all about, brother. MVG backs you up. He does indeed. Solenum Linium says, are we blocking the 21 plastics who just effed off to Just Joe? Plastics. We should set up a petition, to be fair, dude. on the on the Plastic City Leeds fans. My guy. That's probably the comment of the night, to be fair. Spurs not paid 66 million for Eze. 10 to 14 says Arthur, but love it, mate. Taking names, selling them. That's where we're at. Should we create a beef? I mean, Joe won't give the beef back. So we're small fry over here, aren't we? But I think we should create like a dish channel or something and create like a beef. And I can go for him. I can come for Joe. Problem is, if I came for Joe, he'd just pop up in chat, wouldn't he? And it'd be like, I'd be like, oh, Joe, I'm joking. Like, if I'm calling the beef out now, and he come marching over, I'd be like, Joe, watch it back, mate. I ain't beefing with Joe. I love him. I'm beefing with Joe, though, just so you lot know. Nobody's safe. Top Banana says, Steve, the gap isn't as big as everyone is saying. I don't think it's huge to be a Champions League winner. It's huge to be a European Cup winner. But it's not huge to be the battering ram, is it? So the little league above the battering ram isn't that huge. It's big, it's horrible, it's nasty, it's hard, but it's not Erling Haaland up top, is it? I do think that's a shout, though, Remy D. BK will grow with us, play every game, guaranteed. I don't know about guaranteed. Man in the Shed says stalling, in his opinion, which is also a fair shout. I think that's happening, as I say, both club and player. I think we jump in and out of the club wanting the player and the player wanting the club, and we all pretend that the player's desperate for the club and the club the club's desperate for the player and the player don't want the club. I think there's a bit of both. I think they're looking out for other things out there. Mr. Whitesnake, my guy, says staying we are stuffed before the first whistle is madness. I agree, brother. Sammy Ipia, I heard that name in a while. I think I've missed AO saying that. Apologies. Andy Rowe still giving me them pelters, even though he's not telling me to that I can't park my car there. Agents have too much power, says Man in the Shed. I agree. But I don't know if I agree or not with that, to be fair. I think it's up to clubs to stand up to them, but ultimately, the top players get the top moves, don't they? So agency, it's all you'd get if you were a decent player, and the top agent goes to the top player, doesn't he? Not sure what that's about, Mingy, but I appreciate you, brother. Half an hour, I'm so far behind here. I mean, about JT, the JT, or yes, Joe Depp, because I've been on a night out, JT, and I can assure you he does not. Well, I can't. I've only been on one night out with him, to be fair, but he doesn't strike me as the type of man that gets his knob out. I mean, he can get his knob out. Anybody can, isn't it? I'm not rolling him out. I'm not saying he can't, because I'm sure he can. I'm sure he's capable. Jack Sterling says, I don't believe Meslier with a problem without our defenders, mistakes, etc. So I don't believe we've strengthened that much. I don't much like the Leeds Lemming fans' attitude. I'm usually optimistic. Fair enough, big boy. Twitter's a bog wall, Jack. Not written on it for years. Get your send on there, though, SST. That's what I'm saying. I'm up for that comment, by the way. But that's what I'm saying. Get your send stuck in, brother. We need more voices that aren't just pissing the pants. Mr. Whiteside says, I'm lucky I get to choose the idiots I get to watch, as I have to seek out information. The amount of absolute dribble that goes on in some chat spaces make the brain-deaded dumb fuck phrase relevant. Love it, big lad. I've rubbed my button mushroom against a few lasses and always gone home alone with a bus slip. Am I that far behind on about my bub? That's Carl Pearson, man. Amazing. I've rubbed my button mushroom against a few lasses and always gone home with a bus slip. Your button mushroom. I love Leeds fans, man. I've rubbed my button mushroom against a few lasses and always gone home with a bus slip. Wonderful. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. You better sure it's not a bloke in a dress you're pushing it up against. It's not my style, man. It's Carl Pearson's style. He's rubbed his button mushroom up against. Oh my god. You learn everywhere, don't you? It's fucking amazing. My guy, Mingy. Leeds United in the Premier League with the current squad good enough to finish 17th. Brentford Wolves might do us a favour. Hit them likes, says Justin Thomas. Let's have a glance. We've got 95 in room. We've got 106 likes. We can get them likes up, can't we? I've got to say, I can't actually believe we've got 106 likes. I've not asked for them. Honestly, boys, you're absolute legendanos. I think you're the Oracle, MVG. I remember mentioning the Oracle. You're the Oracle. Big lad. Joe Depp. Yet again, we had the Peru, Perisley. You know the numbers he gets. And where did you get that from, Joe? I think we can learn from this comment here. Joe don't know, no. He just listens to my man Parag. Joe Depp. He never called out early doors about Peru, Perisley. Does he deserve? I mean, granted, maybe you could argue Joe wrong. I think he said, if I remember rightly, if he gets 20 goals, should he start every single game at season? We both agreed on that. And then, unfortunately, Joe was wrong, wasn't he? By a goal and the fact that Peru Perisley didn't even start most of the games. Joe Depp knows what day it is, boys. G60 Nick, good to see you, man. Feel like I've not seen you for a bit. Trust the 49ers, they know what they are doing. Good lad. Mark B says, Jack, can you please do a poll on knob pushing, yes or no? And we can sort that out. I think that's fair. And another underlap in it, to be fair. How are we getting on with the poll? We've had 100 votes, guys. It's got to be a fucking record, I might add. 42% say yes. I think 100's a good time to cap it, innit? I fucking ended stream by accident there. 100 votes, a good time to cap it. The consensus is yes, boys. Factual. Sean Rooney says, Mitrovic, what the fuck? We are Leeds United. We ain't no Lee Chapman. Lee Chapman gets the chicks, though, big man. Never forget it. Ignore them, Jack. I'm not sure what I was moaning about, but you and Max are the two best Leeds content creators. Both realists, both not afraid to say how it is, and both up grounded in your opinions. Keep up. Thank you very much, AO. You're an absolute legend, Max. Max is a really nice lad, truly. Only met him really briefly, but it was lovely, genuinely. Joe Depp, I'm not a knob pusher. I'm a knob pusher's son. I'm busy pushing knobs when the knob pushes are done. Oh, my lord. I'm too drunk for bars here. I'm not a knob pusher. I'm a knob pusher's son. I'm busy pushing. I can't. I'll start again. Hang on a minute. Let me sort this out. I'm not a knob pusher. I'm a knob pusher's son. I'm busy pushing knobs when the knob pusher's done. Love it, Joe Depp. Absolutely love it. From the bottom of my heart. I need more. All our kids who beat Scum in Youth Cup final were supposed to be superstars. Yeah, it was the red lot that produced. Fuck 'em, big lad. Andy Ross says, Jack, I guess the Archie was sold for too much. All right, but the reason being his future stock should rise. That's my point there. So you have to buy them. You have to buy them at ludicrously increased rates, don't you? In order to potentially reap the benefits of it. Mr. White Snake says, I've picked up the wrong season to give up drinking. Keep on in your charge, Mr. White Snake. Love you, man. Serge Bain says, Vardy and Brown are good squad players as free agents. Chat. Vardy scored 9 goals last season. To be fair to Vardy, you know, the boy gets goals, doesn't he? It can't be argued. I mean, I don't, if I'm honest, Serge, I don't want Vardy at this point, but funny, it's crazy, and it's kind of what I mean. I'm aware of my own nonsense. So at the start of the window, I was like, well, fucking bring Vardy in. But as you get towards the season, you start to get more and more towards being like, don't bring Vardy in. Can you hear that? She's having a go at cats. Cats must be scrapping. She changes her accent now. She goes from being like Lee's Leicester. She goes, "Hooray, hooray," when she's talking to cats aggressively. Jack, we're not doing well. We're doing fantastic. I love it, Top Banana. And the type of account I would anticipate off a name like Top Banana would always look on the right side. People say, look on the bright side of life. I say, no, look on the right side of life. Ignoring he was on a free in his injury record, Nemetcha is exactly what we want. Fingers crossed on our medical. 78 RPM, man. I mean, looks good. I know Lockie likes him. I don't want to talk for Lockie, but because I literally don't want to talk. I'm not suggesting Lockie thinks he's the answer, but Lockie likes it. Lockie thinks there's potential for him being, if nobody else is to come in, the number 9. And I don't want to say that for him, so you'll have to ask him. And don't do the JT thing where you go over to the channel and go like, Jack says you said he's our number 9 for the next 9 months. That's not what I said. That is not what I said. I'm not sure that's what Lockie said, but I know Lockie likes him, and from what I've seen of him, I like him. But Lockie knows a player when he sees one. When he sees one. Kevin Atto says, evening, Jack. Evening, Kevin. What's good, brother? Can't wait for the transfer window to close. It just breeds speculation, lazy journalism. I'm sick of it, to be honest. And to be honest, man, I think loads of people agree with you, man. And I agree with it. I don't mind the bollocks. It sort of gives me something to, I know they said report upon, but, it's not, I'm not reporting on it, am I? But, and it's utter woof. But, there's fun to it. It's like when you hit the height of fun, isn't there? So like you like sat up here, like, do you know? I'd actually say it this way around. So when you're DJing, right, you're playing to a crowd. Say there could be 10 or there could be 100 people in the room, right? And you're playing at a level like this, and you keep it at this level, and you think energy's high, energy's high, energy's high. People get bored with the energy being high, right? Genuinely. And if you've gone to full capacity, you can't go up from that. So the only way you go up from that is to go down in energy. Then you're down here, and then everybody goes like, and they have a bit of a switch up, and it's a bit more of a slow jam. And then you go to where you was before, but everybody thinks you've gone up to crazy energy, and you haven't. You have to take them on a bit of a ride, and we're currently in the crest of a ride, aren't we? So hopefully we're just on the little bit where it just goes like, oh, nothing's ever going to happen. And we've been there, nothing's ever going to happen. Bing! And then we go, this is the best fucking window that's ever existed. Like, maybe the 49ers are just basically DJing. Maybe they're on, like, they know they've got a certain amount of weeks to take us on a fucking ride. And they're riding out, baby. Yes, Pete Booth. Welcome, brother. Super chat. I appreciate you, brother. Nothing compares to our worst business in history. So counting out scum for 1 million. Replace him with Brian Dean for 3.5 million. Don't this is Brian Dean, though. But yeah, I agree. Scum have taken too many players off us. Ming says the negative fuckers, sure, some of them really want us to lose. I unfortunately wholeheartedly agree. I don't think they watch the games though, Ming. And I'm not talking about like full-blown Pinocchio investments. I don't think they're I don't actually think I think some people want us to lose and the sort of facade as Leeds fans, and I'm not going down the line before I realize I go at me saying there's a certain Leeds fan, you're pretending to be bigger Leeds fans. I'm the biggest Leeds fan in the world because I've got a YouTube channel. It's bollocks, in it. But I do think there's certain people that sort of follow Leeds that just enjoy the we're gonna be shit, and they're not actually. They don't, like all of us lot. I would imagine in the chat and in the watching for them weeks and weeks on end. Do you know what I mean? There's more. There's 84 in room now. All 84 watch them games, don't they? And if they don't watch them games, they catch up on it and they're interested in it. I think there's a lot of people on Twitter, on the internet, that don't watch football, that don't care particularly whether we lose or not, but they like watching a clip of Cooper falling over in one game and then sending it into a group text with a load of lads that do watch football and then sending going, told you we shit. It's like, oh man. But you didn't watch the 8 weeks of like solid performances, did you? You just watched the shit when we got beat 2-0. It's like, so that would be my argument to the people that want us to lose. That's why I would say some of them do want us to lose, because I don't think they care if we lose. I think they think it's funny and they facade as a Leeds fan in order to be like, why would I ever want Leeds to lose? Like, what's the point in that? What would I gain from that? Inar's here in the wings. I only seen that because I was just skipping through, but 100 in the house is Top Banana. We've got 117 likes, guys. We've got 88 watching. If we can get some more likes up in this bitch, be much appreciated. 5 Justin's always on it, man. I appreciate you, brother. Chris Lee says it's getting silly, not good enough from the Niners. Not sure, man. Honestly, I just think we need to give it a little bit of time. Galicia. Yes, Ina. Ina, man. Honestly. Do you know, with all, I love you all, guys, but with the commenters and so, honestly, but we all know, don't we, that Ina just flicks in. He's like a folk legend, isn't he? It's like he doesn't exist. He's a bit similar to Mr. Whitesnake, really. It's like he's not watching, and he just pops in. It's like, and we love him for it. Yes, Mark Bradley. Ina's the boy, handing out the hires. Where are we? We are where we are. Let's just enjoy it. Stick with the lads. What will come will come. What will come will be, which is true, certainly, sir. And that's, Mark, that would be the type of comment that would get, you just fucking, you don't put club under any pressure. You don't do what it's like, no, man. Just like the reality of what we're doing. I mean, what are you meant? You just meant to just piss and whinge all the time. Or do you go like, we've had a good window thus far. Wait out, the window's not closed. Let's bring some players in. You're not allowed to talk like that. We've had a good window thus far. Fuck Xhaka. I don't want him here, man. You'd have all gone ballistic if we'd have signed Xhaka. Somebody signed Xhaka. Fucking hell, it's won league and fucking Bundesliga. Oh my God. Bayern Munich finally had a fucking year off. And Xhaka covered more fucking miles than it. Oh, fuck off. You'd be cacking that side. You don't go from a German winning side to the bottom of the league, dear. It's bullshit. It's so boring. Renderell UFC says, look how many players Newcastle have missed out on. Sesko looked like he was rejecting them for scum. What a peck of peanut he must be. I agree, because to be fair, I found it funny the other day when I thought scum were missing out on Sesko, but they're obviously not, are they? So, but it is, you know, we can't do a lot about it. A Stock says transfer window is far too long, a recipe for swindling agents. That backs up a point that unfortunately I can't remember somebody made earlier. Can't remember the name of, and I don't like to butcher it, but that is true. I was on about shortening the window a little bit earlier, and there would be an argument for that. Oh my God. Matt Bradley. Matt Bradley. Matt Bradley simply must stop. Matt Bradley is Matt Bradley. Oh, you're a fucking ledge, man. We've had there's fucking 900 quid having to go down on Van, and we're not sure if we can do it or not. What a mental bastard. You're so mint, dude. You're mad as a fucking box of frogs, man. But if you're one of them, Mark, that, you know, I mean, Weatherspoons is something, and you go, I saw you in Weatherspoons, and you didn't shout, mate, I'll be livid, mate. I will actually be livid. Sol Campbell won't bad. He were awesome. Does my head in now, like, I think he's a goon, like. But another shout to Mark Bradley. Just, I mean, Mark Bradley, you're in my fucking, you're in my list as it is, but as always, but, you know, madness. AO says, Mr. Whitesnake, this team is more than capable of finishing European spot this year as long as Farker doesn't fuck it up. Maybe, you know, not sure about David Weatherall, mate. David fucking Weatherall kept us up in some fashion. Oh, no, he didn't keep us up. He got us into Champions League. Not through scoring for us, but in general. I remember when Smudger made both Adams and Keown look like shit. Brilliant performance. No, it's not, Andy. It's not. But unfortunately, you know, nobody else gets more than that opportunity. So Mr. Whitesnake says, trying to compare players from the then and now is madness. Different times, different rules, different tactics, different mindsets. Cat's gone, Ed's gone. We'll have to go find this track incoming. MVG, you're a legend, mate. Yes, Andrew, what's good? Doak a joke, says Andrew. Get that badger in here at JUFC. Badger. Legendary MVG. It's too much. He's handing them memberships out like fucking Santa Claus. A Stock says Joe is like the morning oracle. We need to get we'll get stuck into Joe, I reckon. Is he moaning? He's gone live same time as me, so I've fallen out with him big style. Because when he goes live, my viewing collapses. I could bring out that looked like the side of my hair there, didn't it? That looks like I've got like spiky hair. When Joe, I'll release a video and it's going quite well, a shit vid, and Joe puts something up and it just my video shows just has a big old dirty fart. That's why the channel don't grow, because I'm competing with the GOAT, the bastard. Lee Grazia says, do you think we dropped a bollock telling Bamford and Joseph they hadn't got a place in the squad until we had signed players in these positions? I don't know if we dropped a bollock with Bamford because I think it was an inevitability that we would eventually move on anyway. Like, I think it's, I don't mind that comment. Not from you, man. I just mean in general. Like, Bamford, Farker saying that Bamford wasn't part of the squad. He never actually said that about Joseph. I think Joseph brought that upon himself, and then it's shit is as shit does, isn't it? So Bamford's been a consummate professional on it, so I think it's Joseph's fault, really. It being said that then he wouldn't be in the plans if that's is what's been said. Which I don't think he's said that directly, Farker, but he's certainly pissed off with him. I think there's a way back into the squad from Joseph, for Joseph. I just think it's going to be hard work. If she does, mate, she's in cop end. I'm going to do my best to get stuck into her. 78 RPM says people need understand players are looking for their next job, so stalling is normal to review all their options. I agree. AO says if, and it's a big if Farker is the man for the job, we're going arse ripper the Premier League. Justin is the original JT. Apologies. I thought you were trying to... yeah, I love Justin Thomas, man. Just when JT... I've had so much shit about JT in my comments of it past sort of 6 months. Now I know you're JT, Justin Thomas. I'll never call you Justin Thomas again. Apologies, JT. Chambermaid. Button mushrooms are delicious. So only certain type of button mushrooms are, man. I'm not sure what a button spoon is. CB, I think it's very valid comment. Bush remover is better than a bell end. Obviously, it depends if it's your bell end or not, because I prefer my own bell end to a button mushroom. But obviously, with the greatest respect to you, CB, I'd rather my own bell end to your button mushroom. Just equally, yeah, I actually mean that. Like, if it's your button mushroom or your bell end, I'd rather you have it. I don't want to ever eat off your plate, whether it's your underwear plate or your actual like breakfast plate. I mean, they'd call it a breakfast plate. That's just a plate, isn't it? It's just a plate that you probably eat your dinner off as well. But I'm not sure what a button spoon is. That opens it up for a little bit of controversy there. So I'm not sure whether I prefer your button spoon or mine. But I would imagine I tend to find I prefer my own stuff, whether it be a button spoon, I'm not sure what that is, or a button mushroom or a bell end. I think it all sort of ties into one, doesn't it, at that point? 2 strikers in Peru. Nemecha is crazy. Best video I've heard for a while says cat promotion. Is that my cat commenting there? I'm going to piss myself, boys. I'm desperate. I'm literally desperate. Is that where it was left at 57%? Probably never buy it. Underlap. That's ace, man. The Underlap. Browner wants 100k a week. Pass him on to me, mate. I'll give him it. Craig Dowling, what a legend, man. Love your chat, Jack. Keep it up. Have a beer on me, Matt. What a legend, man. Thank you, dude. You guys be crazy. You guys truly be crazy. Get a shout out on my next shit vid, Craig Dowling. Honestly. You'll be nuts. You'll be nuts. Shout out to Craig Dowling. Ming handing out them memberships like he's Santa Claus. Mingy. Honestly. Mingy is passing on. It's catching that wildfire. Boys, I need a piss so bad. Like, so bad. But I fear. We've nearly done an hour and a half here, guys. get the piss tune. I'll spin it back, Jack. To be fair, I've not put the piss tune on for a while, have I? Dr. Curus up in his building. Danny Borden. Tesco by name. Tesco by nature. I just randomly flicked up them farm. That's tremendous. You're the man now. You need not worry around here, brother. I'm gonna piss my pants, dude. Right, guys. Ming, you've handed 2 memberships out. We upload them separately. Absolute ledge. Let's get this in because I'm fucking terrified. Because I always think, oh, I'll remember Ming, obviously, because Ming's my guy in general. And then I didn't write it down and I lost it because I was pissed at me last time. I'm a bit pissed. I'm not as pissed as I was last time, to be fair, but I'm a bit pissed. So we've got Ming, we've got Rendo LUFC, who gets his shout out there, but he will also get the other one. Jaggy Babs, and make sure I got that down. Jaggy Babs. Sean Rooney, who's always in the list as well. You're all, honestly, boys, it's fucking outrageous. We need to sort out, genuinely. Mark Bradley, we were in there, yeah. Craig Dowling, I think I put that down a minute ago, yeah. And another Ming. Mark Bradley, just fucking mental with it. Oh no, Mark. Is that another there? Marky boy. Fucking hell, dude. Big lad, if you hung about any longer, I'll never work another day in my life, dude. I'll just fucking... It's like a hotline, this. Fucking boyo, dude. I swear down. You are fucking... It's not a competition, by the way, boys. I appreciate every which one of you, whether you put super chats in or not. But there has to be. We all have to agree that Mark Bradley is mental. I don't know whether these even come through to the channel at this point. I don't know whether it's a hoax. Boys, Mark the Rain Man, letting it rain. Mark, please tell me you live near Leeds, and honestly, let's go get lashed. Any of you, I actually mean that in general as well. Actually, truly do from the bottom of my heart. In it, CB, in it. I know, John B. Can you imagine if you had? I mean, Mark's mad. He's mad with it. I'm gonna have to do something for him, aren't I? What do I do? What do I do for Mark Bradley? Mingy, I appreciate you as well, man. Honestly, without being gay, I appreciate every which one of you. I know that wouldn't be gay. It's not. I'm not trying to come on to any here, but it did, Randall. You see, it did. It's just dawned on me, like, I do need a slash. I thought this had not gone down that well, because we've been down Boozer. I've had it before as well. This looks like a massive bottle of wine, which I thought was quite a funny comment. But it does look like I've got a real problem. Right, guys. I can't do it. I need to go for a piss. I'm going to jump in hot tub. I'm off for a beer with my bird. I fucking tell you what, Mark Bradley, if you fucking give us another super shot, there's no topic though. Do you know what I mean, Andy? I can't. That's why BMG. I will do the. I'll deliberately do the AMG for Mark Bradley, but there's no topic, so I can't. Do you know what I mean? AMG only comes properly out. Celebrate the donations with a piss. Yeah, say if we could smash a like, it's the only thing other than Mark Bradley absolutely lashing me up in his fucking... You know when we had that, what was that bloke called on about the millionaire? He says, I'm a millionaire, mate. I don't know what I'm doing over here or whatever he put. Cheers, Pete Booth. Legend, Ina. I will be doing. What was that? What was he called? Silver tongue or something. What was he called, boys? Let me know here quickly. Don't have to be quickly, but I'm just saying so it don't look like I'm talking shit. Silverback Steve, Joe, get up. Silverback Steve, yeah. I reckon it's Mark Bradley in the skies, Silverback Steve. No, I don't. Silver Steve. What was it not called? Silverback Steve. You had me there, AO. Sorry, Joe Depp. Was it just Silver Steve? Yeah. I reckon it was all a ruse. There's also a chance that it's like my brother or something. Do you know what I mean? And I know Mark Bradley's not my actual brother, but there's a chance my brother's got another account and he's just sort of on the sly, being like, don't stop the channel. Because I'm always on phone to him like, oh man, just what am I doing? Like, what is this even about? An hour and 36 minutes pissed up on a Thursday night, 11:15. He's like, oh, just don't stop. There's a chance. And I've got two brothers and they're both amazing. So they might both be chipping in. She's going, here, well, we'll just donate a tenner every time it does a video each. And then Matt Bradley dips out before, do you know what I mean? He's the West Coast warlord, isn't he? He's like, right, I'm off. What a legend. Fucking hell. We're going to have to think of something. Somebody in the comments tomorrow, honestly, let's think of something we can do for Mark Bradley. Right, I appreciate every which one here. We'll go through those shout-outs one more time. Ming59, Renduel UFC, Jaggy Babs for being a new member, Sean Rooney, my guy, MVG again for handing him out like fucking like his Santa Claus. Craig Dowling for being a ledge. Appreciate you, man. Ming again. And then obviously we end on Mark Bradley with the two crazy super chats. Absolutely wild. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Take it easy, Rando AFC. Appreciate you bastard, you. Staying alive. Right, guys. JLUFC, Arthur War, Piglet, 78 RPM with the Burt. CB, my man Ming, Andy Rowe, Joe Depp, Paulia. You know where you're at. The Professor, we've not seen you before, I don't think, dude. But join me next time, early doors. Yes, JT. My guy, Pete Booth. The boyo. St. Ellen says, Matt Bradley's your neighbour peeping through a hole in the fence when you're birding out. Well, he doesn't have to pay for it at that point, though, does he? No occurring. Wish there was. Cheers, boys. Cheers, CB, John B, Legendary MVG, Ina, always in the wings. That's curious. Right, I'm going, boys. There'll be a couple of shit vids tomorrow. I might go live. I don't have to start work while later tomorrow night, man. I don't start till 11. So I might go live for, not on Underlap, but just a bit of bullshit talks. I like the bullshit, boys. I appreciate you all, honestly, so much. From the bottom of my heart, I really do. Take it easy, everybody. Much love. See you tomorrow. Take it easy, Anthony. Appreciate you, man. I will, John. I'm just worried it'll get fucking copyright. Sorry, John. I didn't mean to have, that was the next comment I meant to click on. I will, JT. I'm just worried it'll copyright strike me. And then I'll get in trouble and it's like, I'll wax that. Cheers, Mr. White Snake, Arse Ripper, Mark B. Also, I absolutely have to say, and I know nobody's really commented that in the past 10 minutes, but somebody put that you're funny. I don't think you realise how funny I think you lot are. I think the jokes, button mush. Smash the lights on your way out. Honestly, I mean that. You lads make me laugh more than I make you laugh. Believe me. Take it easy, boys. In a bizzle. Or for a piss. That piss that I promised about half an hour ago. I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna play no games. No.
promises. You do you and I'll do me, that's just the way it is.
Boom.